Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace and mercy and blessing of Allah be upon you all. This is the Noble Quran, where we make a simple understanding of the Quran. This is the Quran. This is the Islamic book, and where all the Muslims reading the words of Allah. Allah is the creator, is the Muslim God. Well, I'm assuming that Muslims, non-Muslim, are going to listen to this. So I have to explain everything. Why we need to understand the Quran. There's a few things that we need to go over. First, the Quran is not written. It's not written by a human. It's written by Allah, the Creator who created the earth and the heaven and all the creatures that we have, including us as well. And simply, he probably that's for sure actually, he has the best constitution for our life, for our happiness. He has the best instructions. He told us about it with the old prophets from Adam all to the last prophet that we got is Muhammad. Moses has book. Jesus has a book. And Muhammad has the final book. So, but some people might say, how do I know that there's so many gods, there's thousands and thousands of gods, everybody claim they are the only God. But let's make sure about something. Allah, the Creator, probably we are really mostly the Jews and Muslims and Christians are commonly agree about Allah, who is the Creator. And the Creator, Allah, He is the one who claimed that He created the earth and the heaven and us and all the other creatures. And I don't think there's any other God made that claim. And since He's the only one who claimed that, so most likely He is the one. If you ever heard that any other God created any of those, please let me know. I mean, it's not gonna take a lot of argument. So, how can we understand the Quran? And who would explain the Quran for us? Who should I trust? Well, people might influence their own idea. Maybe they can add or remove, like the same thing what happened in all the other books. They add, remove according to what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And that's a big issue in the other religions. Depends on how much power they gain or lose. So they add and move simple things to keep people under control. And that's the problem. In Quran, Allah claimed that He is the one who's going to protect that book by Himself. We will understand all of that later on. So I choose to go with Mohamed Metwally Elsharawy. He's trustworthy, simple as it is. He's very popular in the Arab and the Islamic world, and his honesty is is very great, and he is his knowledge and his passion for Arabic first, for Quran first, then Arabic second, is very important, and and that's what I really would like to emphasize over here. First of all, we would like to mention that he refrained himself from explaining, saying that he is explaining the Quran. He has some reflections on the Quran. While the reflections, it's his thoughts and his understanding of the words in Arabic, and all the scholars. He conclude the hundreds and hundreds of years of all the previous scholars, and he tried to make it very simple and very unique for very just humble mind or ordinary person can understand. Even if you have a background in Islam or you don't, that's where actually he aimed, and that's what I'm trying to bring it from Arabic to English. Well, let's go a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the author here. I would like to mention that I will all the idea that I will present. It's Mohamed Metwally Elsharawy ideas. It's not my idea. I am just trying to simplify the idea and technically send a message upon his work. And none of them mine. I'm not claiming to say. I'm not claiming that I am the one who came up with this idea. It's my knowledge. No, I'm technically trying to bring it from Arabic to English in a very simple way. So as you see that he was born in 1911, and he was very dominant. He was very famous in our world, as we said. And as we mentioned as well, he has a very simple way, and it's a very unique the way of coming with the example that we have in a modern age right now, so you can understand all these words. Let's go over here, go over his career. He graduated from Azhar University in 1941 in Egypt, and that was the most powerful Islamic study at that time, and so far still. There's so many other university is coming up every year, maybe every day right now, but and all of them trying to do something good. Instead of the students travel all the way down to Egypt, because that's what happened. The student used to travel from all around the world to study in Egypt. Because it's the most authentic Islamic study. And now we have university all over the world right now, so all of them great. But as the Azhar University, it was the basic and still the most powerful so far. He held a position as a professor in 1960 in Saudi Arabia at the University of Al-Quran. That's a very important step when he was selected as a member of Arabic Language Complex, and that was nominated position, and that was a very important step for us in order to make sure that how sophisticated he is in Arabic language. In certain point of his life, he became very famous and popular after showing up in TV shows. Of course, he's preaching Islam and explaining the Quran, and he has volumes of explaining the Quran, and that's where I'm getting all the idea of the Nobel Quran show that we are doing right now from. So as you see in the top right pictures, he's right next to the president of Egypt, and in the 70s and 80s, and he was he chose him, the president of Egypt chose him to be government ministry, and that's for one of the Islamic department, and that within few months he couldn't tolerate the position, and he kept asking to resign, and probably the president refused him, please stay with us, and he kept repeating the request to resign more and more, and eventually the president accepted his resignation, and he felt that his place actually among people preaching Islam, calling for Quran, calling for Allah, and that's where really he can do the best. Not being a minister. That's a good indication. Actually, that's he's not asking for power. He's not asking for politics. He got the top of it at this moment, but it didn't satisfy him. That's all. To be continued. See you next time. Peace upon you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.